All right, what's going on, family? I'm excited, man. I've been waiting for this. Whew. I need you guys to understand that this is huge. This is one of the biggest things we're going to experience in our generation, and we're gonna keep experiencing this every what 4 years. Next one's in 2028. I need you guys to understand. So this is big, fam. This is really really big. This is really really big. What's going on here? There we go. All right, beautiful. What's going on, family? Welcome, welcome. We are live everywhere today, right? We are on TikTok. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We're on Zoom. This is exciting. Okay. I want you guys to understand something, right? Here's the importance of what this means. We have entered the next phase of Bitcoin. What that means, the next era, the next level of Bitcoin. And what that means is simple. That means that now Bitcoin becomes a lot harder to acquire. The reward for miners is now drastically reduced. So a price drop instantly? I don't think so. No. But like I've mentioned before, this is a whole new play when it comes to Bitcoin acquisition, Bitcoin investing. We have ETFs now. We have El Salvador now adopting crypto. You guys know that Google now just invested massively in El Salvador. They have a headquarters in El Salvador, a country that is simply running on the power of Bitcoin. They're using volcanoes to mine Bitcoin, right? They are Bitcoin is that one thing that you try to, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. If I had to define Bitcoin in a sentence, is that right there. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. And I'm talking to the investors right now, you guys, right? The guys that the ladies and gentlemen, you, me, myself, everyone, they have been investing in Bitcoin for years now. I've been in this game since 2017 when I bought my first Bitcoin. The beginning of 2017, right after the second halving in 2016. In 2016, December, I bought Litecoin. That's my first crypto I've ever purchased. In January of 2017, I purchased Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was around the price. It was around like 400, $300 for a Bitcoin. And then I witnessed and I studied. I took L's, I took lessons, I invested money, I learned different ways to acquire, to invest, to maintain Bitcoin. And and a lot of people will say, those that don't know, and this is why I love what I do, because my job is just to educate people. My job is to educate the masses. We are entering into a world, right? Think about it like this. Maybe some of you guys are not old enough, or maybe you are that old. But if you have to remember what it was like for people, okay, for people back then when they started using charge cards, debit cards, bank cards. Remember that? Right? When they started doing that whole transition, nobody wanted to do that. They thought it was, oh, it's so weird. I could just give you cash. Right now we're doing cards and you gotta, scan the card and charge the card, all that stuff. Now look where we are. We are at a point where we're also changing not just our monetary policies and system, but the ways adopted and accepted around the world. See, the governments around the world, and think about it like this, and I always say this, they always operate with greed first. Greed first. Greed is always the main leader in any decision that they make when it comes to anything monetary, anything that has to do with laws. It's always going to be based on greed first. They get paid. They need to make money out of it, right? How can we profit from this? And that's the big problem. But we are entering an era where we're switching. Like we are seeing the biggest shift of wealth in God knows how many years. And in reality, if you think about the things that we've been through with Bitcoin, those of you that have been investing with me, that have been with me since, fam, I've been teaching this since 2018. I've been trying to put people on since 2018. Um, just put them on, teach them, educate them on what it is investing, entrepreneurship, trading, crypto. Crypto fell on my lap after many failed projects. Right, I owned franchises. I was part of many network marketing companies that didn't work out. Greed was always at play. Um, it just didn't. It just wasn't ready for it to go. Okay, and it was a big thing. It was a big thing. And when Bitcoin came into my life, it changed my life, even to today, right? Even after the millions that I've lost through exchanges shutting down like FTX and Voyager, we're still here grinding. We're still here stronger than ever. We are still accumulating Bitcoin. We are still chasing the crypto lifestyle because this is the future. It's not just about getting into Bitcoin and using it to buy your Christmas gifts at the end of this year, right? It's not about your first name, it's about your last name. It's about think about this. The last Bitcoin, all right, the last full Bitcoin will not be mined until the year 2132. I'm pretty sure we're in 2024. Pretty sure maybe half of us, if not 90% of us, will not be here around that time. 2132. Right, that's over 100 years from now. Then we will see the last Bitcoin be mined. And there's 19.7 million Bitcoins in circulation right now. Okay. And I really wanna share some stuff with you, right? Those are guys that are on the Zoom or on the YouTube that can actually watch this. Here's what I really wanna share with you guys. It's right here. Power. Somebody asked me, hey, what's gonna happen with this chart? Is price supposed to skyrocket? Is it supposed to come down? Well, listen, historically, we usually see price of Bitcoin take a dip right after the halving. But one of the things that we've noticed is that the year of the halving is a profitable year towards the end of the year, okay? And then the year following that year, so in this scenario being 2025, it is the most bullish year for Bitcoin in that cycle. Okay? Think about 2020, Bitcoin halved. Bitcoin did a halving in May of 2020. Okay? The price of Bitcoin around that time, if I could go back, yes, I just want to just cover this real quick because this is something very important for us to know. The price of Bitcoin during that Bitcoin halving, it was around what was it, 6,000, 5,000. Then Bitcoin shot up from there and it went from there all the way to 17,000 around December. But when the next year came, once January hit, it went from 20,000, it went all the way to 42, retraced to 28. From 28, shot up all the way to 64, right? And that was by May of 2021. 2021, it dipped back down to 29, accumulated more buying power from there, and then shot up to the previous all-time high of 69,420. Then it dipped all the way back down to 16,000. That's when we took that gorgeous, beautiful buy that lasted all year. From January 7, 2023, we bought Bitcoin. We went long on Bitcoin. And we purchased that asset and held it until the end of the year. And it took us from $17,000 all the way to $48,000 on Bitcoin. And then the year of 2024, we cracked new all-time highs, topping, what did we top from new all-time highs? 74? I want to give you the exact number. Yeah, 73,750.07. $73,750.07 USD. Bitcoin is officially halved. Block 840. This is amazing. At 8:09 p.m. Now, what happens here? I'm going to give you a little technical. I'm going to give you some technicals as to what happens from here. Where do we go from here? All right, here's what's going to happen. From this point, miners are now being paid less They're being paid less to mine Bitcoin. Okay. So what that does is that it's gonna force miners to start liquidating, and they already have. They've been preparing us for quite a few months now. But miners will start to liquidate the cryptocurrency that they've been making right now, the Bitcoin, and liquidate it to now operate to fund their operation, right? Paying for electricity, paying for mining rigs, paying for programs, right? They have to pay for all that electricity. So now they're gonna invest more of their money and they'll force those miners to liquidate more of their asset because now the rewards are less. But this right here, fam, it is something to be excited about, right? I mean, what do we go from here? What's the next things that we're going to see in the crypto market now that we had our fourth successful Bitcoin halving? Well, I can tell you right now, after this, we're gonna start seeing a lot of alt season start taking into play. We will see money start moving from cryptocurrency, from Bitcoin, from a large player, and pretty much transfer over to altcoins. We're gonna see it plays on Ethereum. We'll see plays on Solana. We'll see plays on different on BNB Smart Chain. And we'll be looking at the rise of stock meme coins, shit coins all over again. And we'll see more money flooding the markets. And we're gonna be right back where we were at 2021. Here is it's crazy to think where we are today. All right. Through everything that Bitcoin has been through the hate, the up and downs, the scams, the just the way it has been promoted. It's taken a lot. But yet here we are. We're still here investing in this, following this, knowing that this is for the future. Right? We're gonna be doing this again 2028. So far as I'm seeing the price of Bitcoin, it seems to be reacting positively. We seem to be having some positive reaction. Currently 64176, the price of Bitcoin. It's projecting beautifully off that support, which was at it was at 6.1 on a weekly chart. But we could see a bounce back. I mean, we're seeing players right now, we're seeing institutions, we're seeing companies with billions and trillions of dollars in assets. BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard. This will be big. It will be bigger than. I'm gonna just tell you this right now, okay? I need you guys to truly start investing in cryptocurrency. Understand that this is the future. This will be this digital gold, all right? And those haters and people that say this shit won't work, well, fuck them. Okay, because this is math. The numbers make sense. Right now that we have this halving happening, Bitcoin had an inflation rate of 6.7%. With this halving, it drops the inflation rate to 0.8% for Bitcoin. Crazy, right? What does that mean? Here's what that simply means. It simply means that now what you have in Bitcoin can buy you more. It can buy you more. Right back in 2010, somebody bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin when Bitcoin was 3 cents at the time. It was worth about $40. Those same 10,000 Bitcoins today are upwards of 630 million dollars, $3 million. I don't know, something like that. It's large because it's a hedge against inflation. What time does it happen? Charlie, it already happened. It happened at approximately 8:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this will be approximately 20 minutes ago, almost 20 minutes ago, that the Bitcoin has halved now. Okay. So we have reached that point. Bitcoin is already halved. And now we are at block 840,002. The next block where it will happen, it will be block 1 million and 1,050,000 to be exact. It's every 210,000 blocks. Should I've already bought it? Oh yeah, this should have been bought. I mean, you still have time to buy it right now, but this is something that you want to buy. Usually, historically and long-term wise, you want to buy Bitcoin before the halving, and then after the halving, you want to hold what you have. And if it's still around hanging around that price you bought it at, then you accumulate some more. But if it starts to crazy skyrocket after that, then I mean, you're gonna have to buy at a higher price. And by the prices we saw before of 3,000, 16,000, we're not gonna see that again. Based on this movement, based on the way that the hedge against inflation is going, and I'm gonna see that again. Yeah, you're gonna have to, DCA your way, dollar cost averaging to a better portfolio, just so that way you can accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, right? Here's the thing, people, and this is what I always tell investors: it's time to change your mindset, how you see Bitcoin, right? One Bitcoin is not worth $64,000. One Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin will always be worth one Bitcoin. And the price of items and what Bitcoin can get you, I mean, we're getting to a point where you can buy a house with a Bitcoin. Not a full house, but down payments. I mean, you couldn't do that before. If I got 5 or 10K, should I throw it in there? I mean, you could. Why not? Um, you want to at least diversify some into it. You want to diversify some of that into Bitcoin and other assets. But what I really want you to understand is that this is not something that you're buying to make a profit tomorrow, right? Now we will have a bull run like we did back in 21 and 20 when Bitcoin went from 7,000 to 19,000 and from 19 to 42 or 48, dropping down to 28, then shooting back up to 69. We're going to see that here, but now we're seeing it at a larger volume, a larger scale, where we will see Bitcoin go from, I mean, compared to those numbers, we did it in 2017 where we went from 2,000 to 19,000. Then we did it in 21 from 17,000, from 19,000 to 69,000. And now we're going to go from 64,000 to what, 150, $140,000. And then if we end up retracing in 2025, be after the year ends or towards the end of the year, which is usually when we get a large liquidation, we could be dipping down to 100,000, $120,000 for one Bitcoin. Make sense? So we should do anything. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, my brother. Much love. So this is inevitable. This here is inevitable. And it just keeps on growing. It keeps on grinding. It just keeps on progressing. Every 4 years, like the Olympics, this thing shows up. Every 210,000 blocks, Bitcoin house. Hedge against inflation. And before you know, you got more Bitcoin. You got more crypto. You got more money to invest and make different plays in the crypto market. But this is huge. I want to understand that this is big, and it changes the way that Bitcoin moves now. Because now you have to remember one thing, right? Back from even in 2013, which was the first time China banned Bitcoin. 2014 to the Mt. Gox hack, where 850,000 Bitcoins were stolen, lost. Mt. Gox exchange, one of the biggest exchanges back then, lost 850,000 Bitcoins, not dollars, Bitcoins. Binance had its first hack in 2015, I believe. 2016 came, 2017 came. It was the arrest of people that had BitMEX, right? Those companies came. They were scamming people. They lost their ability to grind. People got arrested. 2018 came, 2019 came. Okay, 2020 was the massive bull run. 20 was it 2021 when El Salvador adopted crypto, Bitcoin, as their legal tender in that country. And is becoming one of the most it's becoming one of the most visited countries in the world because of the way they're changing their economy, the way their president is leading that country. Make sense? We're only going to grow from here. So I always encourage people, just get on Bitcoin, invest in Bitcoin. Because what's going to happen is that other countries, other investors are going to see this and they're going to want to follow. They're going to want to continue to progress. Make sense? Yeah, it's a lot of sense. Anybody have any questions? Does anybody here own Bitcoin? Have you been buying Bitcoin? Let the games begin. I like that. Let the games begin. This is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. Once Bitcoin, listen, and the next, and I'm saying this from experience and what I've been seeing in the markets and where we're gonna see this happen. The next milestone for Bitcoin is seeing Bitcoin hit $100,000. And we've been very close. As a matter of fact, we came 73% close. We're 27% away. Bought it back at 3,000. That's amazing. People who bought Bitcoin back at 3,000, incredible. Incredible. Back at $3,000. Imagine that. At $3,000. I mean, I wish. I wish imagine you wake up tomorrow and it's still 2018 or so, and Bitcoin is $3,000, 3,300, whatever. And knowing that, you wake up and you're like, oh, I just had this whole vision of where Bitcoin is going. That's crazy. And I always tell this story. Um, I always tell the story. Bitcoin was first brought to my attention in 2013. And it was my mother the one that told me about it. My mom, she was trying to buy some equipment that was in for her business, and the person selling it was selling it in California. Okay. And the person in California wanted to sell that equipment, but they wanted to be paid in Bitcoin. And my mom would always come to me and ask me stuff like, "Oh, have you heard about this? This lady is selling this machine. I need the machine for my business. It looks good." And I called her on that was a Facebook Messenger or whatever, and it worked. But she wants to get paid in something called Bitcoin. I don't know how to do that. So we looked into it, and I looked, and the minute I saw internet money, and you gotta convert this, to me immediately, my young mind, my naive, not naive, but arrogance mind said that's a scam, right? And people who say things are scam are just, scam stands for still confused about money. 99% of people are still confused about money. And they don't understand that. So that was me back then. I was told, yo, you gotta look into this Bitcoin. You have to look into this Bitcoin. You have to go and check it out at least. And I did my research back then. The what you call the professional Googler, the one that knows everything, right? And then I just did like a 5-minute research. I saw the first word scam, closing, this, that. I said, don't do it. It's a scam, right? And I looked back at the time, and the price of Bitcoin at the time was somewhere in I think it had just cracked $100, maybe a little bit under $25, $50, somewhere. But imagine if I would have gotten to Bitcoin back then. But hey, we're here now. Okay, we're here now, and now what we do is that we just grow from here. We keep investing, and for those of you who've been following for a while, think about it like this: in 2021. Once 2021 started, once that halving took place, once Bitcoin cracked 19,000, and that's why I say 19,000, right? That's why I say 100,000 is that big milestone. But back in 2020, 2021, no, 2020, when I told you, listen, Bitcoin is not going to hit 20,000, it's going to blow past $20,000 and skyrocket from there. It's not gonna make a little stop. It's not gonna go up. It's not gonna come down. It's not gonna no. It's gonna hit 19,000 and it's gonna go boom, skyrocket right to 20. And it did. It went from 20 to 48. We're trading back to 28, and then from there up to the high 60, 69. Actually 64, then back down to 40s, and then up to 69. Now, what happened? Look at that. Somebody remembers. October 2020, you made that prediction. And then what happened? Bitcoin from there took off 69,000, and then we entered the crypto money cycle. And if you remember the way the crypto money cycle works, money flows into Bitcoin, from Bitcoin into large altcoins, from large altcoins into shitcoins, so small cap coins, and then from small cap coins and shitcoins into stable coins. And then it goes all over again. Imagine that. So now, if we look back at what we're doing now, that number that we had in mind, that all-time high that we needed to break and blow past is going to be upwards of 80,000, 75,000 to 80,000. Once Bitcoin blows past that, then we're gonna hit 100,000, no problem. And then when we get to that 100,000, okay, when we get to that 100,000, that's when Bitcoin's gonna skyrocket. In terms of, how do I say that? In terms of money being pulled out of Bitcoin, which will force a large retracement, okay? It will force a large retracement in Bitcoin, but not a retracement of having it come crashing down, but rather a retracement where people are starting to allocate money into cap coins, Ethereum, Solana. I mean, look at Solana right now. The price for Solana, I told my classes, my students, they were live on my call. I said, you got to pick up Solana right now. Why? When I said that, Solana was 130. Right now it's at 140, 141, 142. Right? But Solana went as high as 400. Okay, let me see. Let me look at the all-time. Right? So I'm sorry, I'm bugging. So now Solana went to an all-time high of $251. And then during that low season when it was kind of dead and markets were low, just last year it was $14. And then it topped right now at 208. This was back in March, and we're down to 141. But Solana's being used immensely in the new shitcoin market. I want you guys to understand it, all of you, right? Those of you that have been following me, those of you that made a fucking killing with me, investing in 2020, 2021. What platforms did we use, right? We were using the Binance Smart Chain, and we were using the Ethereum chain. The Ethereum chain was hefty, but it was expensive. A lot of projects went on there with large liquidity. Made a lot of money in that market, but the gas fees were crazy. Then we had the Smart Chain market. The Smart Chain market brought great projects, but it wasn't as high demand, okay? And the fees were cheap, next to nothing compared to what we were making, okay? And then there's Solana. Solana comes out. And now they're layering smart chain. They're layering smart contracts on this network. And then they're making projects on it. And now all those developers that can accommodate for Solana and have high speeds, lower transaction fees, are all coming on here. The only problem with Solana that we've seen right now is that, hey, guess what? You put money into Solana, Solana eventually starts to have a little overhype or too much energy being used, and then it shuts down. It freaks people out. It's happened twice already. But man, I remember when we were buying NFTs. When we were buying NFTs on the Ethereum chain, man, if the NFT was coming out at 1 ETH or 0.25 ETH, you better have at least 0.1 ETH to pay for that gas fee. Especially if you were doing a launch buy. If you're buying on a midday. It's crazy. But here we are. We're here again. We went through the bullshit. We went through the exchanges. Listen, right? Remember, I also said this back in the day. If you support what I do and you love listening to me talk, I've said this too, and I even said this live on one of our tours when he was here in Orlando, right? Here's what I said. I said if we want to see Bitcoin start hitting the multiple six-figure price, if we want to see the market cap hit, for Bitcoin over 2 trillion, 3 trillion, and so on, if we want to surpass the market cap of gold, we're going to need that old school money, that money that hangs out at Wall Street because there's security and it makes them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And there's regulation. We're going to need that certain regulation here in the crypto market eventually. And guess what? We are at that point where we are getting it. But right now, the way it's coming out is a little shitty, right? Because right now, they're just coming after everybody, right? The SEC wants to just fuck with everyone's pockets, right? They're coming after Uniswap. They came after XRP, right? They're coming after everybody. They're just throwing shit and seeing what sticks. But eventually, this will all adjust into being a market where we're going to have proper regulation, and then those people, the old money, will come in, throw a couple of billions on it, shoot the price up, and before you know it, we are larger than gold. Think about that. Right, right. So, do you have any good stocks? Yes. Good stocks to buy. Listen, fucking buy Tesla. Tesla right now is going through the fucking digger. They are taking it hard. I mean, they are laying off 15,000 employees. They have a huge. They have recalled. They have recalled every single Cybertruck they've sold, right? Over a stupid design with their throttle. It's dumb. Something about the metal pad slides off if you press it too hard, and if it slides off, the pedal slides up and it gets wedged perfectly into this little curve that's under by the throttle, and then it'll floor the car to 100%. But then the brakes override the throttle, of course. But still, that's kind of crazy. That's a safety concern right there. So they have recalled every single Cybertruck out right now over that stupid little metal plate. Price is tanking, but eventually Tesla is going to be it is a top company. Tesla will eventually have headquarters in El Salvador. I am dying to go visit El Salvador. El Salvador right now is a beautiful country with beautiful innovation. They're offering citizenship for investing over there, right? Same as Dubai. So these crypto friendly countries and tax free countries. That's what we need, man. We need that. That it's time to change it up, right? Because if we're gonna start making millions and have all these crypto monies being made, we can't have Uncle Sam, fucking us for 44%. We can't have that. That's just a scam, right? They're dealing with the biggest shitcoin in the world, the US dollar. Not about to happen. But I'm excited, fam. Bitcoin halving, 840,000 blocks. Reward cut down for miners. Bitcoin price inevitable to go up and skyrocket eventually within the next 6 months. I'm just saying, watch it work. Let Bitcoin cook. Let Bitcoin cook from now until the end of this year, there's going to be a potential bull run that will take Bitcoin to $100,000. And when it takes to $100,000, and we start next year around January or February, we're gonna have a huge fluctuation of money into some kind of smart coin, altcoin that will just take the market to the next level. If you remember that process in 2021, that coin was Doge. And there was around a time where it was Doge, and there was a GameStop thing with the stocks, right? And you had Nokia and AMC, those things were skyrocketing. And it was a stupendous amount of money flooding these markets. And we're going to see that again. All right. But anyway, fam, happy Friday. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys could be out getting hammered, but you guys are real ones. Much love to all of you. Happy Bitcoin halving day. I'm gonna go buy some Bitcoin right now just in just celebrate. Price is still good. I'm gonna go buy some more. Um and then I'm just gonna keep watching this beautiful chart. I'm gonna pick up some Solana as well. I already picked up Solana, but I want to buy some more. And yeah, fam, that's it. Much love to all of you. If you've ever made money from me, not from me, but from listening to me, if you ever made money from investing with me, let me know. Let me know your story. We're about to do it again. Um, and that's the beautiful thing here, fam. As as a matter of fact, I wasn't gonna announce this yet, but I want to do it today because today, I mean, it's a perfect day. So you guys know we have an academy. We've been running this academy for almost 3 years now. We're getting heavy back into the altcoin season, trading heavy in the markets, and I have a special promo for everybody, right? So in honor of Bitcoin halving day, okay. I got to do this math first because this math is so it's a large math, right? In honor of Bitcoin halving day, you guys, what block number is this? Bitcoin halving? What block? I said it like 50,000 times. Who's paying attention? What block number is this? This is block 840,000. Put in the chat. I want to see you guys type it up in the chat. You guys can type 840K. This is the 840,000th Bitcoin block. So, as a love from me to you, because I love you guys that much, I'm going to give. I am giving 8 months of the Unemployable Academy. 8 months. Okay, say 8 months. Oh, I did that wrong. 8 months. I'm giving 8 months of the Unemployable Academy. That's live classes. That's access to all recordings, access to crypto calls. You guys get crazy. I'm gonna start doing tours again this year. You guys get first dibs on them. You might even get free events. I'm doing it all. Okay, but I'm giving you guys 8 months. Okay, and this is for everybody, whether you're in now or you want to sign up. Right, our course is $150 a month. If you take that for 12 months, that's 1,800 or so. Right, I'm giving 8 months for 840. 8 months. 8 months for 840. Does that make sense? 8 months right now is 1,200. 8 months for $840 just because it's Bitcoin halving day. And because I know that you guys want to have a fucking amazing bull run and get some of the best crypto assets that we've had since 2021. That's my promo to you. That's the love, $840 for 8 months of the Unemployable Academy. Happy Bitcoin halving day. Much love to all of y'all. Y'all be safe. If you have any questions, DM me. One shot or monthly. That's one shot, no monthly for this one. Or message me. We'll talk. I can have my team come up with something real quick for you, right? But fam, Happy Bitcoin halving day. This day is legendary. This is not an easy day, right? This right here, I got these everywhere, right? I got give them to my kids and 840,000 Bitcoin block, right? 2024, halving number 4, 2028, next halving. So where should I buy Bitcoin? Where should I? Oh man, you have to. Where should you buy Bitcoin? Buy it on Cash App, buy it on Coinbase. I mean, I'm sorry, on not Coinbase, on crypto.com. The real question is where should I store it? And that's what I want to cover on our next class next week. All right. Much love to all of you. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll